Bonjour, it's Mrs. Gibbons here again. So this week we are going to carry on talking about our family. This time we're going to be asking for and giving information about brothers and sisters. The first thing we're going to look at is how to ask the question, do you have any brothers or sisters? So to ask that we say, as-tu des frères ou des sœurs? So we've seen the word frère and sœur before. We've looked at family members. Frère is brother and sœur is sister. And you might also recognise the phrase as-tu, do you have or have you, when we ask the question quel âge as-tu, how old are you? Because it literally means how many years do you have. So as-tu is do you have. And then the word ou is or. So as-tu des frères ou des sœurs? Do you have some brothers or some sisters? In English, we'd just say, do you have any brothers or sisters? Okay. As-tu des frères ou des sœurs? This person, if they had one brother, would answer j'ai un frère. Remember, the word for a in French changes depending on whether the noun is masculine or feminine. So because we are describing a masculine noun, a brother, we'd say un. So j'ai un frère. If I wanted to say I have two brothers, I'm obviously going to get rid of the word for a and I'm going to replace it with the number. So if I've got two brothers, I'd say j'ai deux frères. Now, when we're writing it, we need to add an S to make it plural. But as is often the way in French, that final consonant is silent. So we don't actually pronounce the S when we say it. But you would have to put it on if you were writing it. So you say j'ai deux frères. Obviously, if you've got more than two brothers, you would change that number. So if you had four brothers, you'd say j'ai quatre frères. So obviously this number changes accordingly. Okay, if you have a sister, you'd say j'ai une sœur. So again, the word for a in French, when we're referring to a feminine noun, is une. So j'ai une sœur. Again, if we had more than one, so let's say I've got two sisters, you're going to use the number here instead of the word for a, and you would add an S, but again, you can't hear it when we say it, it's just when you spell it, you'd have to write it down. So, j'ai deux sœurs, I have two sisters. Remember, j'ai means I have. Okay, if you've got a brother and a sister, we're going to need this little word here, and you'd say, j'ai un frère et une sœur. So I have a brother and a sister. Okay, some people have a different combination. So it could be, for example, j'ai deux frères, I have two brothers, et une sœur, and a sister. So the main thing you need to think about is, are you talking about more than one, in which case you'd use the number and you'd add an S to the noun, or if it's one brother or sister, you would either use un or une, depending if it's un frère or une sœur. And obviously some people might not have any brothers or sisters, so you would say je n'ai pas de, which means I don't have any, frères et sœurs, brothers and sisters. So je n'ai pas de frères et sœurs. I don't have any brothers or sisters. Okay, let's see if you can tell me what word would go in the gap. So j'ai un, what would you say here? Shout it out. Okay, hopefully you should have got j'ai un frère. I have a brother. What about here? J'ai something, sœur. What word would go in that gap? Shout it out. Okay, hopefully you got j'ai une sœur. I have a sister. Okay, we've got two brothers here, so what word is going to go in that gap? Okay, let's see, it should be j'ai deux frères. I have got two brothers. Okay, I've taken out two words from this sentence, so can you tell me what would go here? We've got j'ai something, frère, something, une sœur. So let's see. J'ai un frère, I have a brother, et une sœur, and a sister. Okay, quick recap then. So to ask the question, do you have any brothers or sisters, you'd say, as-tu des frères ou des sœurs? To say I have a brother, j'ai un frère. To say I have a sister, j'ai une sœur. Remembering to use the correct form of the word a. If talking in the plural, use the number. So j'ai trois frères. I have 3 brothers. Again, we add the S to the word, but you don't actually pronounce it. If you had 4 sisters, j'ai 4 sœurs. I have 4 sisters. And if you don't have any brothers or sisters, you would say je n'ai pas de frères et sœurs. I don't have any brothers and sisters. Okay, let's look at some celebrity brothers and sisters and giving some information about them. So, if you were Anna, you would say j'ai une sœur. I have a sister. And then if you remember how to say he is called or she is called, we looked at that last week, you could say elle s'appelle Elsa. She is called Elsa. Because it's female, you use elle s'appelle, she is called. Okay. Okay, if you look at Prince Harry here, he could say j'ai un frère. I have got a brother. Il s'appelle William. So he is called William. So we use the phrase il s'appelle for he is called. Okay, so that is a bit of revision from what we're looking at last week. Now, we haven't done this before. If you are talking in the plural and want to say they are called, you do have to change it slightly. So this person has 2 brothers. So he would say j'ai 2 frères. If you want to say they are called and it's talking about males, you would say ils s'appellent Chris et Liam. Now you might notice the way we pronounce it doesn't really change. It's still ils s'appellent because this S and this little last bit here is silent. So again, you just need to know it because if you're writing it down, the spelling obviously changes when it's in the plural, but when we say it, it doesn't. So, j'ai 2 frères, ils s'appellent Chris et Liam. They are called Chris and Liam. Okay, Bart has got 2 sisters. So again, we're talking in the plural. So you're going to say, j'ai 2 sœurs. I have 2 sisters. And then because there's more than one girl, it's elle s'appelle Maggie et Lisa. Again, it doesn't change the pronunciation, but we do have to write it using this addition here when we're talking the plural if we're writing it down. Okay, now the Weasleys in Harry Potter, they've got a lot of siblings in their family. So Ron Weasley would say, j'ai 5 frères et une sœur. I have 5 brothers and 1 sister. So when there's a mixture of boys and girls, we use the masculine form to say they are called. Okay, so you go back to ils s'appellent, and then you list the names. Fred, George, Bill, Charlie, Percy, A, Ginny, and Ginny. Okay, so remember, if it's a mixture of boys and girls, you use the masculine form. A bit like when we say mankind, it's referring to all men and women, but the phrase is mankind. So sometimes that happens in French as well. Okay, and then Harry Potter had no brothers or sisters, so he would say, je n'ai pas de frères et sœurs. So, over to you. Your task now is to either choose some famous siblings and write how they would introduce their brothers or sisters in the same way I've just done. So, for example, you might imagine that you are, trying to think of some famous, a Kardashian, for example. You might explain how many sisters you have and explain what they're called. Or if you don't want to do that, if you'd rather use the picture here, you could look at each picture, choose one person and write it as if they were your siblings. So here, for example, if I was looking at this picture, I'd want to say I've got a brother and I've got a sister. They are called Lucas and Emma. So you could say j'ai un frère et une sœur. Ils s'appellent Lucas et Emma. So if you want, you could use these pictures, or like I say, try and think of some celebrity brothers and sisters, and you could write your sentences as if you are them. Or if you want, you could just write some sentences telling me about your own siblings. So you could make a post if you want to, or you could write your answers in your science book. It's up to you. Please make sure you tweet us your work or email it to us so we can see what you're getting up to. Okay, take care. Have a great weekend. Au revoir.